Welcome, Sertomans, to today's session on Understanding Grants 101. In our rapidly evolving world, securing funding through grants is pivotal for community organizations like ours to thrive and make a lasting impact. Whether you're new to the process or your club has been pursuing grants for years, this session aims to help our members understand the different types of grants that are available and the entities that are behind them. We'll then wrap up with a short discussion on reporting. Let's get started. Grants generally originate from two types of funding organizations. The first type is foundations, which are established primarily to advance the public good or support specific charitable causes. There are three basic categories of foundations: public, private, and corporate. Public foundations raise funds from several sources, including the general public. These are sometimes called community foundations. Private foundations are funded by a single benefactor or family. And corporate foundations, sometimes known as corporate social responsibility or CSR programs, allow for-profit companies to pursue grant-making opportunities. Government agencies represent another significant source of nonprofit grants, offering funding opportunities at multiple administrative levels, from federal and state down to county and city jurisdictions. These grants serve as crucial financial support for nonprofit organizations, allowing them to implement essential community programs, advance public initiatives, and address local needs effectively. Whether the grant comes from a foundation or a government agency, it's essential to thoroughly grasp the specific requirements of each grant. While many grants are accessible to 501c3 organizations, additional eligibility criteria may determine whether you're qualified to apply or not. This distinction is particularly crucial for government grants, as they often adhere to stringent guidelines governing the awarding process. Understanding these requirements is key to positioning your organization effectively for grant opportunities. As I said earlier, nonprofit organizations like our clubs can pursue different types of grants to support their missions and operations. Let's take a look at some of the major categories of grants that are out there. Offered by local community organizations or funds, community grants are designed to support projects that benefit the community directly, such as local arts programs, youth services, or environmental projects. For instance, an organization might host a series of workshops to promote hearing loss prevention in a city or county. Project grants are specifically awarded to fund a particular project or program rather than general operating expenses. They often require a detailed project proposal outlining the goals, methods, and expected outcomes. An example could include funding a community health initiative aimed at promoting healthy lifestyles among underprivileged youth through workshops, organized activities, and access to sports equipment. Capacity grants are aimed at helping nonprofits strengthen their internal capacity to better achieve their mission. They may fund activities such as staff training, strategic planning, technology upgrades, or organizational development. Research and education is pretty obvious. These grants tend to focus on critical topics like health, the social sciences, or environmental studies. And finally, we have emergency and disaster grants. They are there to assist nonprofits responding to emergencies, natural disasters, or other crises. They provide funding for immediate relief efforts or long-term recovery and rebuilding. Grants may come to you in the form of restricted or unrestricted funds. A restricted grant must only be used for the specific project detailed in your grant proposal. This ensures accountability to the grantor's intentions. In contrast, unrestricted grants offer greater flexibility as they can be used for a variety of purposes within your organization. They may be applied towards general operating costs, which allow your clubs to allocate funds where they are most needed at any given time. This flexibility can be crucial in sustaining day-to-day operations or investing in capacity building initiatives that strengthen the club and its mission as a whole. Even how grants are paid out to organizations can vary. Some grants provide a lump sum payment up front, while others distribute the funding in staggered installments over a period of time. The latter disbursement method is more common. Installments allow grantors to receive ongoing progress reports and provides them with the flexibility to adjust funding based on changing needs and program or project goals. Some grants require nonprofits to raise a certain amount of money on their own before the grant will be awarded. These matching grants can encourage community involvement and leverage additional funding. Conversely, flat grants is exactly what it sounds like, a flat amount with no additional contingencies. This is how Sertoma's club and community grant programs work, for example. Now let's talk about in-kind grants. Similar to in-kind donations, these grants provide goods or services that the nonprofit would otherwise need to purchase rather than giving them money. Examples include donated office equipment, free advertising space, or pro bono legal services. For instance, Microsoft donates software to eligible nonprofits through its Microsoft Philanthropies program, and the IBM Corporate Citizenship Program offers skill-based volunteering and consultation services to those organizations in need. Before I go, I want to touch very quickly on reporting. Reporting is going to be an important part of any grant process, even those offered by Sertoma. These reports allow grantors to track the success of the programs they're funding and ensure that grants are being used properly. Reports also allow them to communicate to donors and stakeholders how their grants are helping others and promote their philanthropic efforts in the news. The American Society of Association Executives, or ASAE, says that reporting requirements typically fall within 3 categories. Unconditional grants have minimal reporting and are usually awarded upfront as a single sum. Contingent grants work on a system where a nonprofit must reach and report on a certain benchmark before they receive their next payment. And finally, ASAE explains that reimbursable grants are essentially paid back to you after you cover the initial costs. These grants have stringent reporting requirements wherein an organization must document and prove expenditures. This is especially common with government grantors. And that's it for our foundational overview on grants. We've explored the types of grants, funding organizations, and the varying reporting methods required to secure funding. Armed with this knowledge, we hope you feel better equipped to step into the world of grant applications so that your club can continue to make a meaningful impact in your community. As we move forward, let us harness these insights to effectively pursue grants that support our mission of serving others and creating lasting positive change. Sertoma is here to help. If you have questions for your staff, you can contact HQ or connect with us in our Facebook group using the link on the screen. We also have a host of other trainings and resources available to you in our member center at sertoma.org.